Contact departure. On departure 12744.
Summer air shows. They have different planes and different flying techniques. And one that seems to stand out from the rest, causing chatter and awe, are those certain planes that can fly upside down, straight up, and loop around to nearly the ground, called aerobatics. And you have to be a special type of person, and I met one right here in Oshkosh at this year's EAA AirVenture. Born and raised in central Montana, Britt Lincoln is a fourth-generation pilot. Her grandpa and great-grandpa were both crop dusters.
We had a small grass strip in front of our house, and so just always being around aviation and airplanes. I was actually 5 days old the first time that I was ever in an airplane. So
Britt got her private pilot license just 8 years ago in 2017, and her only goal was to fly straight and level. Then in 2019, she met someone with a 2-seat aerobatic plane.
He started speaking to me about aerobatics and competition aerobatics, and I didn't know anything about it. It was like he was speaking a foreign language. I had no idea. And then he said, well, I was going to take this airplane up for a flight. Would you like to come with? In hindsight, I think that was a hook. I think he did that on purpose. Not sure he was really going flying. And I went, and it was great. We did so many maneuvers, and I felt great. I felt fantastic, and I landed, and he said to me, he's like, you need to learn to do this. And a couple months later, I started training with him and learning aerobatics.
And learning from the pros, it's not easy.
I always say it's the hardest thing that I have ever done, but anybody can do it. It's like anything. It just takes the right training. You know, it's not something that you want to go out and try by yourself. Even if you're already a licensed pilot, you know, you need proper training, professional training. But like everything else, you can learn to do it. You know, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and of course, I compete as well as do air shows. So I see every tiny little mistake. There's no such thing as a perfect competition flight, but I strive for it.
Between competition flying and air shows, it's a completely different style. Competition is about absolute precision.
Perfectly vertical lines, perfect stops, no bobbles, on perfect, you know, is it a 90 degree, is it 180 degree, rolling inverted, and it's just, you know, stop, like bam, like you hit a brick wall, no funny motions in the airplane. So it disciplines you as a pilot, and it really teaches you to be an absolute master of the airplane.
And air shows are different because pilots are there to please the crowd and to make it entertaining versus flying for judges.
Air shows incorporate a little bit more gyroscopic maneuvers, you know, like some tumbles. We also fly with smoke and music in air shows. We don't do that in competition. So a little bit different. But, you know, in my air show acts, I really try to pay homage to my competition background. So while I do have some of those really fun gyroscopic tumbly maneuvers, I try to maintain as much crispness and precision in my other maneuvers as I possibly can, which comes from my competition background.
And this year, a major milestone for her. In Oshkosh at EAA's AirVenture, she performed for her first time at the world's largest air show. And when it comes to the competition side, she is on the U.S. Advanced Aerobatic team. And there are 5 of them going to Hungary in September to compete at the World Advanced Aerobatic Championships, representing the United States.
It's like the equivalent of the Olympics for aerobatics. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
After all of this practice and success, I had to ask her, is she nervous?
You know, we're humans. There's always an element of nerves, and that's really part of also the difficulty of the sport. You know, it's the precision and the controlling the airplane, but it's just as much mental as it is physical. And so really being able to prepare yourself before a flight to be in a good mental state and focused, you know, not to have that fight or flight response that we get oftentimes. You know, people experience it when they have to speak in public, or maybe you're going to go sing karaoke, and you know, you get this brain fog and you can't really remember stuff, and you get dry mouth. And so you know, that's all part of the puzzle in the game is finding a way to control yourself, your body, and get your mind focused in the right place to perform at your absolute best.
And for those of you who have no idea what G's feel like, positive G's make you feel like you're pressed into your seat, and it's a multiplier of your body weight.
Your blood will flow. It actually comes out of your head and towards your legs. So there's breathing and straining maneuvers, like flexing some of your muscles to help prevent or minimize the blood flow out of your head to your feet.
And negative G's are just the opposite, a feeling of being pushed out of your seat. Most people have no idea what that even feels like because roller coasters don't do it.
And there's really not much that you can do for the negative. The blood then is, of course, the opposite, going to your head. And the best thing that you can really do, you can strain a little to prevent, but you mostly just relax. Obviously, the hard part is when you go from negative and you've got all the blood in your head, and then in a split second you go to positive, and so you have to train for that. Yeah, that's where you can go kind of gray out, black out. So you train for all that.
A frightening reality that most don't know about watching from the ground. And if you're interested in aerobatics, whether you're a pilot or not, check out IAC.
Great organization, just of like-minded people, and you don't have to be a pilot. You don't even have to be an aerobatic pilot if you just want to check it out and kind of be a part of some really fun and great, phenomenal people. We have close to 4,000 members, and there's only a couple hundred of us that actually compete in aerobatics. So there's lots of people who are part of the club who just want to be a part of something really phenomenal. Lots of people who volunteer. The whole organization runs on volunteers. Contests, they don't happen without volunteers. So we have a lot of members that aren't flying in the contest but come and help out and just be around some cool airplanes, some fun people, and watch some really, really great flying.
Now I've learned these pilots sure don't mind having a meteorologist around, having to battle the weather, turbulence, and winds pushing them around. So now you know all that goes into that show. I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot.
50, 27 left, clear to land, 230 at 20.